We celebrated the International Day of Happiness, Rock Your Socks Day to recognize autism. We had a February skate night at the Florham Park skating rink that was so successful that we added a March skate night, and I think there's probably going to be more to come. We had more than 250 kids take part in that. PRM's Social Outreach Club visited the first grade and read to them as a part of Read Across America. And the Little Mermaid cast went to both Stony Brook and Kiel and did a sneak peek. And that was, I think, really great for getting kids to show up. Because when I was here, there were 100 little kids with mermaid dresses on. So the Give Back Day, we'll talk about this. A lot of people are asking, we have one inclement weather day left. We call it a Give Back Day, so if you don't use it, we put it back into the calendar. Right now, it looks like it's probably going to be May 31st. Adding on to the end of the school year is problematic because of project graduation. And this year, May 27th, which is the Friday before Memorial Day, we generally do a Friday, Monday, we have a field trip and field day. So we have to change those things, which we could if there's a large outcry to have it on the 27th instead of the 31st. Okay, so just some, that's from last time. Just to give an update on changes that we're making to isolation and quarantine. I met this week with our nurses team, and we are reducing, due to the change in the CALI score and the reduction in transmission of COVID, we are adopting the shortened isolation for students who are test positive for COVID and a shortened quarantine as well. So I don't need to read that to you. It's what the CDC has recommended, it's what we've been doing for staff, it's what the Department of Health recommended. And now that we don't have masks across the board, it's not an issue for kids to eat without a mask. So we are adopting that as well. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that later on as well. That is my report.
Thanks. Joaquin, student team.
Thank you. To start with Kiel, all students from K to 2 have been making pinch spots in their art class this week with special guest Gloria the Potter. This upcoming April the 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day, which will mark April as World Autism Month. The special education, art, and library teachers are teaming up to plan for students to engage in thematic and meaningful conversations about celebrating all people for who they are. This will include making a bookmark in art class to commemorate autism awareness. The theme for this year is Shaping the Future. And on April 11th, there will be a Be Great show where Harlem Wizards will visit the schools the week of April 11th, and there will be an assembly. In Stony Brook, they had their International Day of Happiness, which was celebrated with past activities on March 18th. I'm sorry about the ring name, that's what it's going on. That makes sense. Professional development has included Teachers College for reading and writing. Science professional development was held for 4th grade teachers, and teachers continue to attend Conquer Math Professional. Apologize. They also had their pottery week for all students in the week of April 4th. The Be Great Assembly for all students is on April 12th, along which also features Harlem Wizards. In PRM, they are beginning to make preparations for the 8th grade trip to Philadelphia and Gettysburg. They're having a meeting on March 30th in person and via Zoom. And this is the first time since 2019 where we will actually have the trip. And on April 12th, there will be the PRM Science Expo where students present their science projects that they've been working on throughout the year. In Kinnelon High School, our Officer Caputo is participating in the Police Unity Tour in May, which is a great fundraiser that supports the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. Over the course of 4 days, Officer Caputo will cycle to Washington, D.C., where once he's there, he will honor the fallen police officers. Each year, they ride in honor of a particular fallen officer, and then they meet their serving family officers. In order for him to participate in this event, each rider is required to raise $1,950, and right now we are at $800. If you wish to donate, the link is on the letter that Mr. Student sent out. All money raised is allocated solely to the maintenance and support of the memorial. Right now, this event has gotten over $30 million. In other news, we've had 2 state champions this past winter season. James Carreri won the 2022 NJSAA swimming in 200 IM, and Evan McGallion won the wrestling state champion at 126 pounds. And again, congrats to all three of our robotics teams.
Thanks, Joaquin. Okay, now we're to petitions and hearings of citizens for agenda items only. If there's anybody that would like to come up and talk about the items on the agenda, you can come up to the mic right now. Please state your name.
Carrie Mabel, 12 Glen Drive here. So I've thought a lot about what I'm going to say tonight over the last few weeks. It's been a very difficult time for my family. We moved here 12 years ago for the schools. I love the education my kids are getting. I'm an educator myself. I'm always impressed. I talk about Diane in my district all the time. They're tired of it. And what I want to talk about is the biased policy. Because my concern is that, one, it's good that we have it, but I'm concerned that we're going to see more of that with what happened on Facebook for the last few weeks. And I know that there's a bunch of policies and changes in the curriculum over the next few months. And I am concerned that that policy will have to be enacted more and more if the school and the board cannot navigate the public, their opposition, and their concerns. And I'm asking the public to learn more and to ask questions and to come to the board meetings more. There's normally 15 of us here, maybe. I am all for these policies. I am for sex ed for every kid, my kid especially, because he didn't get the sex ed that he needs as a member of the LGBTQ community. And I get that you're nervous. But I feel unsafe for my kids right now. And so what I'm asking is, I've talked to Diane, I have a meeting set up with Jean, I had a meeting with Yvonne Cerisi. I'm finding out more. I'm not trashing people on Facebook. I'm asking questions to the school board. And we shouldn't have to have a biased crime policy. I'm glad we do. But when the people that are going on the radio, when their kids are calling my kid a faggot on social media, and then you're going to say he doesn't deserve sex ed, how dare you? And so I'm very concerned about what's going on publicly, and I'm asking for help.
Seeing no other comments, thank you, Ms. Swigel, for your comments. Okay, we'll be moving on to report of the superintendent, education committee. Ms. Fishbeck.
Agenda items 1 through 3 represent the education committee's recommendations and will be voted upon as a group. Number 1 is field trips for the 2021-2022 school year. The DECA National Competition, the NJSC Spring Conference, do Six Flags Great Adventure, the Turtleback Zoo, and the Special Olympics. So those all sound like really fun and great opportunities for our kids. We also would like to approve the contract with LearnWell to provide hospital instruction for a student. And approve the in-service agreement between Elevate Education and the Kinnelon Public Schools for an on-site workshop with staff, students, and parents on March 7th at a cost of $8,000 to be paid with the ESSER 3 grant funds.
Motion to approve.
Sorry, can we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. King, will you call the board?
Mrs. Fishback?
Yes.
Mr. Petroselli?
Yes.
Mr. Giganti?
Yes.
Mrs. Perrot?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
That's it.
Items 4 and 5 were added to the agenda. They will be voted upon as a group. The Kinnelon Board of Education approves the extended school year program to run from July 5th through August 5th. The hours for extended school year are 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and the preschool is 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Number 5 is the Kinnelon Board of Education approves the Kinnelon High School dress code as of the 2021-2022 school year.
Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second. Ms. King, will you call the board?
Mrs. Fishback?
Yes.
Mr. Giganti?
Yes.
Mrs. Perrot?
Yes.
Mr. Petroselli?
Yes.
And Mrs. Johnson?
Yes. Okay, Negotiations Committee, there is no action or anything to discuss. Personnel Committee, Mr. Petroselli.
For the Personnel Committee, agenda items 1 through 13 represent our committee's recommendations. Will be voted upon as a group. The first 6 are all leaves of absence, approvals and replacements for number 6. Number 7 are the approval of the teachers for AP exam prep on attachment A. There's a late bus arrival supervision at Kiel under number 8. Number 9 is a payment for summer and weekend mentoring. Number 10 is a part-time admin. Number 11 is a full-time para. Number 12 is a substitute teacher for the 21-22 school year. And then number 13 is payment for a home program. So can I ask for a motion to approve those 13?
Motion to approve.
Second. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Ms. King, will you call the board?
Mr. Petroselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Fishback?
Yes.
Mr. Giganti?
Yes.
Mrs. Perrot?
Yes.
And Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Agenda item number 14 was also added to the agenda for personnel. It's another revision to an unpaid leave of absence. Can I have a motion on that one?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Ms. King, will you call the board?
Mrs. Perrot?
Yes.
Mr. Giganti?
Yes.
Mrs. Fishback?
Yes.
Mr. Petroselli?
Yes.
And Mrs. Johnson?
Yes. Mr. Petroselli, will you hand policy?
Sure. Agenda items number 1 and 2 represent the policy committee's recommendations, which will be voted upon as a group. Number 1 is the HIV report, which you all received, and number 2 is the first reading of the following policies and regulations, which you also received, and again are in the same place on the website for both the public and. Can I have a motion to approve?
Second. Sorry, motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion on those? Okay, seeing none, Ms. King, will you call the board?
Mr. Petroselli?
Yes.
Mrs. Perrot?
Yes.
Mr. Giganti?
Yes.
Mrs. Fishback?
Yes.
And Mrs. Johnson?
Yes. Okay, Finance Committee, agenda items 1 through 12 represent the Finance Committee's recommendations, and they will also be voted upon as a group. We have the Treasurer's Report for February 2022, Secretary's Report for the month of February 2022, Budget Transfers for February 2022, Secretary's Certification of Budgetary Line Items. Pursuant to New Jersey NJSA 18A, I certify that as of March 24th, 2022, the line item account has encumbrances and expenditures which in total exceed the line item appropriation in violation of said statute. The board certification of budgetary line items. Number 6, the bills list. As indicated in the agenda, A, be it resolved, the Kinnelon Board of Education approve the bill list file reference for the Student Activity Fund account, the cafeteria account, and the agency account. Item B, be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education approve the bill list. Total disbursements paid by computer, total disbursements paid by hand check, total disbursements paid by EFT, and the total disbursements for February 28, 2022, as indicated in the agenda. Item number 7, be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, in accordance with the policies, teaching staff job expenses, sports staff job expenses, approves reimbursements as seen in Finance Attachment A. Be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education approve a joint transportation agreement with the Education Service Commission of Morris County for the 22-23 school year. Be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education approve an agreement with the Education Service Commission of Morris County for non-public educational services for 22-23 school year, professional support services, non-public nursing, non-public technology, non-public textbook, and non-public security aid. Be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education approve disposal of the following obsolete equipment as listed in the agenda. Be it resolved that the Kinnelon Board of Education approve the preschool inclusion program enrollment fee of $300 per month or $3,000 per year for the half-day 10-month program for 22-23 school year. Following is the budget motion. Be it resolved that the tentative budget be approved for the 22-23 school year using state aid figures, and the secretary to the Board of Education be authorized